Hello, Mark Homer, Progressive Property, welcome. In this video, I'm going to give you an update on the stock market. But before we get started, make sure you like and subscribe. The market has dipped a little bit, probably Omicron, probably because it has had such stellar returns through the years and people are losing their minds. So through the year, lots of people have been saying everything is overpriced. Well, in some areas of the market, that may be true. I think with US markets, some of the international markets, maybe emerging markets, they probably have had a really good run. If you look at UK equities, they still look quite cheap. In fact, if you look at blue chip, really, really good sort of UK companies, I've bought a bit of Rolls-Royce, I've got a bit of Lloyd's, maybe you're looking at some of the supermarkets, Tesco, although I wonder if Amazon will be able to sort of start edging into that market with their sort of fresh product. But there are lots of these big, solid UK companies which are looking very cheap in terms of comparing their current valuations with historic averages. This all started during the Brexit period and the uncertainty that came afterwards, and the market just doesn't seem to have woken up to the fact that the UK is relatively cheap. You can buy these stocks, you can get good income, good yields off these shares, so you get paid today anyway, and then at some point, I suspect, there will be a revaluation and lots of American and international shares will be worth relatively less compared to UK shares versus today. Tesla is up and down like a horse draws. It's bound to be. Elon Musk at the helm, he's clearly a genius. He's clearly cornered this market. Electric cars, governments are on board, he's building all the batteries, he's going to the moon. Is this a good stock to buy? Well, it's very, very fully valued, a little bit like Apple. It's not something that I would get involved with because it's not something that I necessarily understand. But you can see why people are very, very excited. If you want a white knuckle roller coaster ride, buy Tesla stock. It may go up loads, it may halve, it may be worth 20%, who knows? So most of you already know that I would normally just buy index funds for the sort of bulk of my money and property. Lots of people love the hype and reading stuff and online and in newspapers about sort of individual shares. That's not for me. I've done it in the past. I invested all through the dot-com boom. That's usually how I've lost money in the past. I do like buying certain stocks when I feel they're very cheap, if they're a really, really good company. Rolls-Royce might be that. Maybe some airlines, although in the long term, airlines never make money. But British Airways, International Airlines Group, that could be cheap at the moment, potentially. So I've absolutely no idea where the market is going to crash at the moment, or we're just going through a small correction. It hasn't crashed yet, if people are losing their minds. At some point, it absolutely will crash. I can't tell you when, and neither can anybody else. And if they say they are, they're either lying or misguided. Remember, there are only two types of investors. Those who can't time the market and those who know they can't time the market. Lots of people have been hoarding cash the last few months and not investing because they think the market's too high. If you pound cost average and put a little bit in every month at lots of different levels, because remember, you don't necessarily know where the market is cheap or expensive. You'll get the average of all the markets and you'll get all the income on the way through. So if you leave all the money in a savings account and just try and invest it when you think the market is low, A, you'll probably get the timing wrong. You're very likely to get the timing wrong. And secondly, you'll lose out on all that income in the period where the money is not invested, because you're going to be getting, 0.5% or less in that savings account at the bank. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Hope you've got lots of value. That has been Mark Homer, over and out.